Here's a report. Sony has moved over 90% of its camera production out of China. That is a very Apple-esque move in 2023. Everybody is trying to diversify their production to avoid risks associated with relying too heavily on one specific region. Now, this is significant because Sony, when it comes to cameras, my goodness gracious, you got to understand what we're really talking about. We're not just talking about the more advanced style cameras that we use here on set, things like the Sony A1. We're also talking about all the other camera equipment they do, sensors and things for smartphones used across the board. We had the famous picture of Tim Cook inspecting the Sony sensors.
Yeah.
You know the picture I'm talking about, Will. It's one of my favorites of all time. It looks like he's going down there to catch a whiff. He's going, see what you're working with over here, Sony.
Smelling the lens?
Maybe so. Due to political pressure and the need for supply chain diversification, more and more companies are moving production out of China and into other countries. Apple is reportedly planning to move some of its production out of China to India and Vietnam. Canon moved production away from China last year. Dell has announced it's phasing out China-made computer chips by 2024, and dozens of other Fortune 500 companies are following suit. Now you can add Sony to the list. They transferred more than 92% of its camera production from China to Thailand. According to Nikkei, a respected Japanese financial publication, Sony's plan is to only manufacture cameras sold in China. So the only stuff they're going to continue to make in China is if you're buying that camera in China. All the cameras exported to places like this, or Europe, or even Japan for that matter, those are all going to be made in Thailand. Sony sold approximately 2.1 million cameras globally in 2022. Of those, 150,000 units were sold in China. So if you're trying to figure out how big of a gap that is, they're only moving 150,000 units in China itself. Most of their stuff is going elsewhere. 2 million units to all those other regions that we mentioned. What does it mean for China? Obviously not the ideal type of word.
Production.
What does it mean for Thailand? Making more cameras.
More production.
There we go. It's always like that, isn't it, Will? A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.